With all of this going on, how was this guy able to walk on these feet? Check this out. Imagine calluses so thick that they can actually be seen on X-ray. I've had patients who had calluses not nearly this size tell me that it feels like they're walking around with a rock stuck to the bottom of their foot. Imagine what this guy was going through. Even after soaking his feet for 20 minutes, the callus was still too thick and too hard for the scalpel to pass through. So I had to remove it first with a nipper. Look how thick that piece is. And that's just the beginning. The remaining rim of callus is still too thick for the blade, so I continue to use the nipper to even everything out. Now I can use the scalpel to shave the callus down as close to the normal skin as possible without causing injury. I am using a number 10 scalpel here. It is large enough to remove good pieces of the callus with each swipe, but small enough not to injure the surrounding normal skin. This glistening white part of the skin that you see in the middle of the callus is what we call the nucleus. It is the focal point of pressure and friction. This overlies the bone, in this case, the head of the fifth metatarsal. As this guy continues to walk on this day after day, week after week, and month after month, it continues to build up thick skin till it gets to the point where he just can't take it anymore. Now I have switched to the number 15 scalpel. It is smaller, and I use it in smaller areas where I need to be more precise. You will notice that the cutting edge, the belly of the blade, is facing upward. This is so I make sure that I do not cut too deep. I skive around the edges of the core and then work my way toward the middle, being sure not to be too aggressive and try to remove the core in one piece. Now you can see that the center is pink. That is my sign not to go any deeper. The callus on the big toe is too thick to remove with just the blade, so the nipper has to be used first. Now the blade can be used to remove the edges of the callus and to shave it down to the normal skin. You will notice that there is no core here, so enucleation is not necessary. This callus developed because of arthritic changes in the big toe joint. These arthritic changes decrease the range of motion or how far the big toe can move during the regular walking cycle, or what we call the gait cycle. As a result of decreased range of motion, there's more pressure put on the bottom and inside of the big toe when the foot attempts to push off while walking. The skin reacts by getting thicker and thicker, but because there is no focal point of pressure, there is no core. The same procedures were performed on the callus on his right big toe and under the fifth metatarsal head of the right foot. Removing the calluses and their associated cores is actually the easy part. The hard part is keeping them from coming back. So how do we do that? The forces that caused the calluses in the first place are not going to change. His bone structure is not going to change. The way he walks is not going to change. So what can we do to prevent these calluses from coming back? The first thing we do in a situation like this is through foot orthoses or orthotics, insoles. Not just a simple insole that you can buy from the store, but in cases like this, custom orthoses are actually more effective. There can be places put in the orthosis where the calluses are located to off-weight those areas, or extra padding can be put in place to help reduce the forces that cause the calluses. If orthoses and shoe modifications or changing shoe size are not effective, surgery is also an option. Surgery would require removal of bone, sometimes the entire metatarsal head, like in this area here, or just shaving the bone down, especially where there are high points or bone spurs. Calluses like these are not as rare as you might think. I see them all the time in my practice. Fortunately for this gentleman, he does not have any other medical conditions that could make these calluses even more problematic. But in folks with diabetes or any other conditions that cause poor circulation and neuropathy, loss of sensation, skin breakdown can occur. Skin breakdown can lead to infection, which can lead to gangrene, which can lead to loss of part of the foot, the toe, or even the leg. So calluses like these are not to be taken lightly. They can really adversely affect someone's lifestyle, their ability to wear shoes comfortably, their ability to exercise, their ability to work, their ability just to carry out the activities of daily living. So if you have calluses that are getting bigger, thicker, harder, and more painful, don't let them get to the point where they're interfering with your life. See a podiatrist as soon as you can to get them removed and so that things can be done to keep them from coming back so you can return to the lifestyle that you want. This is Kevin Jefferson, the DC Foot Doctor. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like it with a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you will know when a new video has been uploaded. Share it with your family and friends. If you leave a comment or a question, it may be featured in a future video. But most importantly, take care of your feet.